1, 2, 3, 4.
Matrices can be used to calculate data on a soccer field by inputting the amount of passes that are completed in a single match. Adding up all of these passes in the matrix can give us the total amount of passes that are complete in a single soccer match. The position of the numbers in the matrix also gives us the direction of the pass. For example, Brian passes to Andy twice. That is why there is a 2 in place A12. Yash passes to Andy 5 times. That is why there's a 5 in position A32.
So what we have here is the Macy's method for rankings, which is used to rank teams based off a time period. And here is the formula they use, which is AX is equal to B. Here's a sample matrix where the columns are represented by teams and the rows are represented by games. Here is the key. So if we look at one example, what the key is, team 1 beats team 2 and team 3 did not play. So here we have B, which is just sample numbers. For example, if team 1 beat team 2 by 10 points, then a 10 goes here. And since there's no single solution, we have to use the least square method, which is basically the transpose of A times A and the transpose of A times B. And we have the results here. And we put these two results together to get a augmented matrix right here. And if we solve for it, we get the rankings for each team, 1, 2, and 3. And we can clearly see that team 1 has the best ranking, then team 3, and then team 2.
One application of linear algebra in sports is defense in basketball. We can use linear algebra to calculate a defender's impact and a player's defensive skill. There have already been many experts before me that have tried cracking the code of defense, and there are a million weird, ugly, confusing formulas like this one. But here's the general idea they all say. Spatial vectors and vector data can help us understand the impact a defender has in basketball. What are spatial vectors? Spatial vectors are individual points of data stored as coordinates that indicate a physical location. In basketball, there are X amount of areas in a half-court set and X amount of areas a player needs to defend. We can compute a defender's impact by seeing the shot percentages and amount of shots taken against a certain defender. A good defender would make a player shoot less often, and when they do shoot, they will miss more often. Let's look at the corner 3, for example. With defense, this shooter shoots 20%. Without the defense, he shoots 70%. That is a good defense. In this video, this shooter shoots 100% without defense and 100% with defense. That is a bad defense. Another application is zones defense and the defender's responsibility. In a 3-on-3 situation, let's say the offensive player has the ball and dribbles past his defender into another defender's zone. At that point, he is no longer his original defender's responsibility, and the new defender needs to make a choice between his two responsibilities. Let's say the player with the ball is a good shooter and shoots 52% from the spot he's in, and the other player on offense is a bad shooter and shoots 17% from the corner 3. The defender needs to make a choice, and if he's well coached, he will cover the 52% shooter. This is what zone coverage looks like in person.
Wow, what a great video. Let's go ahead and break it down and stat that. In case you didn't know, a video showing Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals quarterback, throwing a Hail Mary to wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins during the last 10 seconds of the game. They were behind and were projected to lose the game until this great play happened. So in front of me is a football field. And this is where people play football, and in some cases throw dime Hail Mary passes like the video shown earlier. And if you think about it, this is basically an oversized XY graph. So the X plane goes from 0 to 53.3 yards on the X axis, while the Y plane goes from 0 to 160. Here's another angle to kind of get that picture. So in retrospect, these are essentially points on the field where a quarterback throws the football and another point where a receiver catches the football. And if you're still confused about it, here's another perspective of the Hail Mary pass. So in the video, Kyler Murray is going to be number 1 right here. And he kind of goes to the left side of the field and throws the football all the way to the end zone where DeAndre Hopkins, number 10, catches it. So Murray threw the pass at around the 59 or 54 yard line, which from 0 to 160 converts to 59 on the y-axis, but was very close to the sideline, which therefore positions him at around 3 and 59, shown here. And then DeAndre Hopkins caught the football in the end zone, which puts him at around 10 and 112. And if you think about it, this forms a right triangle with respect to the points given. And with this information, we can calculate the average of the triangle using the vertices given and create a matrix using it. So to find the area of a triangle with vertices, it'll be plus minus 1/2 times the actual matrix. So I'll go ahead and write that down right here. So it'll be plus minus 1/2 times x1, y1, and 1, x2, y2, 1, and finally x3, y3, 1. After we do this, we also need to calculate the determinant of this this matrix right here. But first, let's go ahead and plot the points. So going back to this picture, we said that this point was around 3 and 59. This point right here would be 10 and 112. And then to create that right triangle, we also added another point right here, which would be 10 and 59. After plotting those points, we then get 3, 59, 10, 112, and 10 and 59. And then we need to calculate the determinant of this matrix. And finally, after calculating the determinant of the matrix, you're going to essentially multiply it by 1/2, which gives the grand total to be the area of 213.5 yards squared. If you think about it, this is a pretty small gap, and it shows how impressive that catch was, because there wasn't really a big open window for Hopkins to catch that ball, and because it was such a small right triangle, it just shows how impressive and overall exciting that Hail Mary pass was, which in the end resulted in the Cardinals winning the game against the Bills.